I'm a 3D artist, and in this video, I turned the most wholesome and innocent Minecraft creatures into mildly disturbing boss fights, and even got a real mod developer to judge my work from 1 to 10. Starting with the Nautilus, which I think out of the 3 interesting things to do in the Minecraft oceans, this has gotta be one of my 3 favorites. But for how terrifying the ocean is in real life, there's a disheartening lack of cosmic horror down here. So if no one else is gonna fix that, it might as well be me. I don't want to go overboard for this one, so I started by making some multi-segment tentacles that rotate around the inner pivot for realistic fluid resistance animations, and a giant spiral shell twice the size of a human being, or whatever this wretched vessel is. And I can already hear the comments going, "This isn't realistic. This is a game about realism." But if there's one thing I've learned over these years, it's that nature always has a cooler boss fight. Don't you ever forget that. This is a real picture of an ammonite fossil. I don't speak German, but I think this roughly translates to pretty big shell. Wow. I tried so many texture iterations to get this right. Maybe it looks like a zombie, maybe it looks like imitation crab legs, but I eventually realized I should just go with what feels right. Not because I trust my instincts or anything, it's just too dark down here to even see what's going on in the first place. So this is what I'm calling the ancient ammonite. He ran away. He shares a lot of similarities with the NFT investor in the sense that they're both underwater. I find the best way to fight this thing is by riding a regular Nautilus. I never realized how fun these things were to ride around on. It's a lot like the Riptide Trident, except slower. It is very cute though, okay? It's worth it, I promise. Well, that was rude. The boss has 3 main attack patterns. That dash was the first one. You could avoid it by Nautilus dashing out of the way if you had access to a non-eaten one. But then he pulls out the whirlpool move. This one is pretty diabolical. He starts hitting that spin jitsu motion, pulling everything towards itself. But the cool part is you can use the centrifugal forces to reach escape velocity before it even touches you. Freak Bob looking thing. And finally, it can summon these zombie Nautilus jockeys to protect itself, which made sense because I thought I was doing the zombie angle, but then I forgot to remove it from the list. It's actually pretty pathetic. Whoopsie. Shout out to my friend Jack who spent all day making these particle effects using Minecraft's particle system. A horrible system for making particles. Seriously, I don't know how he does it. Send thoughts and prayers. It's getting dire out here. So the boss itself is really tanky and it's actually pretty hard to fight considering the water of it all. But, and I know how hard this is to believe, but I actually did put thought into making it a balanced fight. There's just a couple of things you gotta do first. Step 1, get loyalty trident. Step 2, that's pretty much it. Or a bow, actually. You could fight it with a conduit if you want, just don't get close to it. I always thought Nautilus armor was a little pointless, but oh, it's got a point now, no doubt about that. Considering how this is like the most dangerous thing in the entire ocean now, I probably don't want this to just spawn naturally. It would be really funny. It would be funny. No, I can't. Here's the plan. Rarely in the ocean biome. There's one. You can find these ammonite fossils on the ocean floor made of these ammonite shell blocks, which well, they look cool to some people. This is like 30% of the blocks in the game, okay? Don't get mad at me. Maybe you can grind them into bone meal since shells technically can be used as fertilizer. And while we're at it, let's give Nautilus shells the same treatment. Now they can craft 2 things. Wow. Anyway, this isn't financial advice, but if someone were to put a conduit in the middle of this fossil, it would eat the conduit, a bunch of ominous particles show up, and there he is, the ancient ammonite. Well, actually the females of the species were the larger ones, so there she is, the ancient ammonite, ready to do tentacle stuff. It doesn't work if there's no water, since it would just drown or suffocate or whatever, but you probably noticed it consumes the conduit, which is pretty expensive, but I have a plan, okay? We can justify this. The ancient ammonite drops something called the abyssal pearl, which looks a lot like the heart of the sea, which is used to make the conduit, which is consumed when you summon This one is a little bit different though, because it has 2 entire use cases instead of 1. Use case 1, Nautilus. You know him, you love him. You better love him. Don't make me come over there. But he's just a little slow, you know? I don't know. I just wish there was some kind of item I could feed him that would beast mode activate. That's an unrelated debug message. Ignore that. Now we just hop on the saddle, crank that number up real quick, and experience the most refined ocean travel ever made.
Oh, no! It's swimming faster than the chunks can load.
But maybe the Nautilus isn't your thing. I get it. Maybe you don't spend much time underwater. Well, you're really gonna hate this one then, because it's another conduit, baby. Lock it in. Boom. It gives you... Oh yeah, you have to use the shell blocks to make it activate. For the uninformed among us, the regular conduit gives you haste, night vision, and water breathing. So we do the same but better. Haste 2, night vision 2, night vision 2. What does that do? Okay, that's all completely useless. So it also gives you swim speed, and the max range is doubled from 6 chunks to 12 chunks. In fact, it's kind of overpowered in my opinion, but it doesn't matter what I think, because if I want to impress the mod developer, I'm gonna have to do better than a big fish. Does this count as a fish? Doesn't matter. For my next boss, I'm starting with the bee, which is this cute mob that loves flowers and makes honey, and it also happens to be the most overdone boss concept in the history of all video games, as you can see from my deranged Millinote board on the topic. So my plan for this design is simple. Forget the bee, bring in the wasp. These things are way scarier. What are we doing? I made a design board so I could get this thing over with as efficiently as possible. We got the disgusting transparent wings and the pathetic 1 pixel thick legs. Let's just go ahead and dump that into a subboard, why don't we? For the color palette, I'm using something pretty similar to the vanilla Minecraft bee, but for mine I'm using higher contrast just to make it that much more striking to come across. Millinote is this really nifty collaborative reference board I use. It makes organizing images and notes and things like that really easy and fast, which is particularly great in this instance because I can stop looking at these things as soon as possible. You know it's going to be a good boss when we haven't even left Blockbench yet and my eyes already twitching. Wasps aren't really that complicated. Yeah, sure, I'm using all these anatomical references and even other 3D models which we can embed directly from Sketchfab, but it's not like the shapes are difficult. I just need to get the proportions 100% correct to capture that pure disgust from any player that encounters this. So check out Millinote today using my link in the description. It's completely free to get started with no time limit, so there's no reason not to give it a try. This isn't really the most complicated project by any stretch of the definition, but no matter how complicated your visual organizer board needs are, or how many people you need to collaborate with, Millinote has got you covered on desktop and mobile. Big thanks to Millinote for sponsoring. Let's get back to the video. So this is the worker wasp. It's an unholy abomination that's actually pretty easy to avoid. It is technically hostile, but you can usually just walk away from them unless you accidentally hit one, in which case it gets angry alongside every other wasp in a half-chunk radius. I cannot stress enough how much this actually feels like getting swarmed by wasps in real life. It's a complete nightmare. They're so fast and just disgusting, and they poison you. And this isn't even the boss fight. This is just the side feature. Now, I'll be the first to admit a lot of my bosses do end up simply being larger versions of the mob they're inspired from, but if I'm going to expand my skill set and grow as an artist, it's important to always push your boundaries, so I'd like to be more creative than that. I'd also like to buy RAM for less than $700, but we don't always get what we want, so I took the regular wasp model and gave it a potion of thickness, break a couple of the joints in half so it can curl up like this, and there it is, the biggest, most beautiful bee, I mean wasp. This is not the Terraria queen bee. It's so different, I promise. The queen wasp is a giant flying menace that that is a horrible sound. Somebody get the flamethrower. To be honest, actually finding this boss might be worse than the boss fight itself. Basically, you just gotta be walking around, minding your own business until you find a wasp nest. You'll probably hear it before you see it on account of the discordant buzzing noises they keep making. The nest itself is made of these wasp nest blocks which drop paper when you break them. If I remember my middle school science class that I didn't pay attention to correctly, paper wasps kind of eat the wood around them and spit it back out to create their nests, which is pretty cool, but I'm not going to show it on here because YouTube sends a hitman to your house if people click off the video in disgust. There's so much paper here that it's actually a pretty viable sugarcane farm alternative, but it also spawns full of these worker wasps, so unless you got a nuclear bomb with you, you're probably in for a pretty rough time. And to make matters worse, the wasps can actually reproduce by putting eggs in the nest, which eventually grow up into more wasps, which can place more eggs, and I should probably put a population cap on these. Here's another brilliant feature idea. You can extract the larvae with shears, which don't do much on their own, but they are a fantastic food source if you're a psychopath. You could probably even make a larva farm if you pick these up with Silk Touch. Oh, the mod developer is gonna hate this so much. What am I doing? Get out of my face, dude. I'm so sick of these. Oh, yeah, that's right. If you hear this sound, you probably want to leave as soon as possible. You know in the deep dark biome how you accidentally trigger a shrieker 3 times, you get the warden? Well, it's the exact same thing here. Every single one of these nests has one final protection mechanism where if you kill 3 wasps from the same structure, you get the queen. The queen bee, I mean wasp, has 2 phases and 3 attack patterns she can use, inspired by real life wasp behaviors. Like this one where she shoots long distance venom projectiles that inflict poison, but also cover the ground with these venom puddles that you should probably break. She also has a very unique move where she dashes towards the player. This is state-of-the-art technology that's never been done before. Compared to some of my bosses, this fight is actually pretty manageable up to this point. The poison is pretty annoying because somebody decided to shake the screen on every single damage instance, but if you just bring honey bottles, it's barely an inconvenience. But once she falls below 50% health, she gets angry, and this is when the real fight starts. Not only does every previous attack get upgraded, but she can also summon more wasps now. And yeah, it would make the fight pretty RNG heavy if she could just do that move all willy-nilly. So to fix that, she has to back off and charge this one over the course of 4 seconds. And if you can land any hit during that time, it's cancelled. She's also vulnerable to Bane of Arthropods, which doesn't make it a useful enchantment or anything, but it's the thought that counts. So why on earth would you dip your toes into this awful wasp infestation? Well, you may have noticed this item in my inventory by now. It's called the Venom Sack, and you can oil up your weapons with them to make them inflict poison for a limited time only, and it's dropped about 25% of the time from the regular wasps. It's a pretty significant damage damage increase, but it's nothing compared to the royal venom sac, which is dropped from the actual boss. It works the same way, but this one inflicts poison 2 for up to 1,000 hits instead of 50. It can also be used to make poison 3 potions, which doesn't sound very strong until you consider that just one of these things does 300 damage over its lifetime, which is worth about 1.5 ender dragons. Take this, you big that it's immune to poison. Okay, well, there's one more thing you can craft with this, and that's the royal anti-venom. You know how drinking milk cures you of every single effect in the game? It's pretty great, but there's only so much milk you can carry on your person before it starts to get weird. So this works the same way, except you can use it like a lot. In a way, this is kind of realistic, since in real life we use venom from snakes and scorpions and whatnot to build up immunities and produce anti-venoms. I mean, it's usually more complicated than drinking the forbidden Mountain Dew, but I think it could stand to have some more uses still. Millinote, activate brainstorming template protocol. Maybe you could control the wasps to build things. Maybe the pollination could speed up crops. Maybe you get bee armor with a built-in elytra, but it's like a slower elytra or something. Unfortunately, I was kind of out of time now, and it was finally time for the mod developer to judge this nonsense. So thanks again to Millinote for sponsoring this one. They make videos like these possible, and I actually use the product, so check it out. Link in description. These are the worker wasps.
This is a really good model. I really don't like it in like the best way.
I'm gonna kill it.
What? Why was there an ominous?
That's probably nothing.
That's very big wasp.
Oh no! Skylor!
Oh, are those larvae in the... Oh, that's disgusting. I like that it's part of World Gen. I like that it's just like a ground hive that you stumble upon and maybe even fall into. But I really don't like the noise that they make, and I'm listing that as a positive because it's extremely accurate. It feels like there's a gigantic wasp the size of a house cat flying next to me. And then when they all get angry and they get louder, it is actually scary. And then the queen wasp herself, the model is really detailed. I quite liked it. Some things that I don't like, the ferocity at which they come at you. But I don't think that's necessarily a problem with the mod. I think that's really just that I don't like wasps. I would say overall, I'm gonna have to give the queen wasp and her hive a 9 out of 10. I have a conduit. I guess I'll just... Uh-oh. Whoa! Oh, that's really cool. Because we went into this with Nautiluses, I feel like it was a little easier than it should have been. Once I got off the Nautilus and I could actually get pulled around by the whirlpool move and stuff like that, it actually was pretty cool. It felt different from your other boss fights in the sense that I wasn't terrified I was gonna die instantly. The visuals were fantastic. The way that you summon it by finding the shell in the ocean. The only thing I didn't like about it, the design feels a little bit out of place. Well, actually, maybe that's thematically appropriate because deep sea creatures in the real world are nightmares, and they don't look like they belong on this planet at all. And the boss fight was a little bit easier than I anticipated. I'm gonna have to give the Ancient Ammonite a 7.5 out of 10 overall.
Skylor was then attacked by wasps in real life immediately after filming this. Pretty good scores anyway. The models for this video are on Patreon alongside the project files for all my other videos. But this isn't over until it's 10s every single time. See ya.